Do you want to head up, since we're up here anyways, to see if there's any...
Sure.
I'm never going to be able to get over this confidence.
Alright, so you guys, with your fancy duds, are able to walk around the upper tier without anyone, like, questioning you. No one even really glances at you. Like,
First time in his life.
Like, they take one look at your clothes and they just, like, nod and keep walking.
He's used to staring, pointing, screaming.
Yeah, no, they literally see the two of you walking together down the street, and they, like, you see people in outfits, like, more outlandish, some that are less. You see some, like, one woman who looks like her outfit is made out of butterflies.
We were like the equivalent of, like, the Gap up here. Like, very, like, just basic, run-of-the-mill, not too nice, not too shabby.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you're basically wearing the Gap right now.
I love your relations to the Gap.
And so, you just kind of meander around a little bit, and sure enough, you overhear a couple, well, yes, I do think that this one, and you hear a gun go off, is quite nice. I think it will be quite the thing at the next party. And they and as they, like, go off, another one, like, fires, and you see a tree branch, like, break and fall. And
why does his face just lights up?
And they're just walking away from a shop, and you walk up, and sure enough, there's a window of these voice of the gentleman, and it's just gun after gun after gun after gun, just filling the window.
Perhaps. I guess we should go in.
Claudius
walk in.
his pants a little bit.
And there's actually a woman in there with her hair bound up in a very tight bun, and she has pearls running the length of her hair, and it looks like just a bun of pearls. And it's the same thing with her outfit, is the same kind of shade, and it looks like these giant, like, bulbous shoulders. And yeah, may I help you?
Yeah, I was just looking around. I had more of a custom designed piece, and I was just seeing what you had here.
Oh, custom work. Yeah, go ahead and put it on the counter there, and I'll take a look. And she goes behind, and she snaps out this black velvet cloth and puts it on the counter and stands behind it.
I unload it, lock the safety, and then hand it to her.
That is, what is that? And
Don't
she,
worry
like...
about it. Don't worry about it. It's for special party tricks.
I should say so. What does that even fire? And she's, like, turning it around, and... Alright, well, I don't have anything that will just fit that. I might have to do some custom work for you.
Oh, no,
Unless you're wanting to trade it in,
No,
or...
no. I do my own work. I was going to see if there's anything I can buy from you to... No, I don't...
Oh,
No.
alright. Yeah, what's it that you're looking for exactly?
Well... If we could... So the one I have now, the reload property is 4. So if I could increase it to 6 chambers.
Okay. Let me see here. And she starts, like, going through, and you can see her just pulling out drawers of, like, parts. And, yeah, if I put this together and that... Let me see that thing again.
I hold it up.
Yeah, and this one. And she, like, sets the 3 on the counter. Yeah, that'll just be 950 gold pieces.
Oh, yeah. Great, and,
Looks over at Temsin.
Temsin just stares back.
how much money do you have, Temsin?
Why do you ask?
Just wondering.
Fun conversation piece.
Well, I'm not... And he looks up to the lady. I'm not actually looking to purchase anything myself today, so...
Oh, alright. Well, I mean, if you're looking to do a few less pieces, if you're wanting to kind of jimmy something in there, then I could go maybe a bit smaller.
Yeah, what would that?
Let me see here. And she, like, goes and puts the pieces back, and these 2, that'll just increase it by 1, but it'll only run you about 500.
Okay, well, maybe another day then.
Okay. If you're wanting to trade it in, then I could probably find you something else.
That's tempting, but what would it get me?
Probably probably trade it in for one of my smaller pieces here, but they are newer, so
What would that do?
it would increase it by 1.
Just 5 reload?
Mm-hmm.
Would it do anything to the damage?
Mm-mm.
I actually made this myself, so it's a little near and dear to me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can I just like study the different weapons that she has? I mean, are there like shotguns, rifles?
Yeah, there's tons of, and then you do see that most of the ones she has are very small, and they're beautifully constructed. Like, it looks like beautiful metal work and all this stuff, and you can see that you would notice quite a few of the like fancier ones look like the one that you purchased.
None that are a match, though.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, because he didn't know that you could do like a rifle or you could do like a...
Mhm.
So he's like, his mind is being blown right now.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, who makes all of these?
I do.
You do?
Yes.
That's incredible. Wonderful work. How did you learn to craft these?
Well, I just got the blueprints and I started working on it from there. I used to apprentice with a blacksmith.
Who gave you the blueprints?
My old mentor did.
Where is he from?
Here, as far as I know.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch his name.
Well, his name was Liam.
Interesting. Does he makes them as well?
No, he's dead.
Oh, I'm so sorry. My condolences.
Mm-hmm. Well, he doesn't make the guns anymore, and he's dead. So, my name is Garney. It's nice to meet you, and welcome to my shop.
Well, Garney, my name is Temsin. It's a pleasure to meet you.
You've never seen a voice of the gentleman, have you?
Only a couple times.
You've
before.
seen his.
Yes. And one other once at a cart. But I didn't know what it was back then. I thought it was a club.
Yeah, folks around here are kind of tight-lipped about their stuff, and they don't really want it getting out exactly what they are, so... Well, stupid folk think that they're clubs.
What do most people think they are?
Most people around here they're little party tricks. Some people go pigeon hunting with them, but... I love this woman.
What about you? You must enjoy them a lot, so I'm sure you use them.
Well, yeah, I use them at parties to sell them.
Huh. No personal use?
I don't really have any thing or one I want to shoot with them, so no, not really.
That makes sense.
You ready?
Sure. Do you have anybody that trades with you?
A few folk come through.
Tries to smile.
That thing's loud, isn't it?
Oh, sometimes.
I can make it softer.
How's that?
And then she goes and she gets out a couple pieces and let me lop off the front there and put these on. 250 gold pieces.
Yeah, and see, I don't really have my money with me. Let me see those for a second.
And he studies them, tries to get an idea of what she's doing.
They are immaculately crafted, and it's essentially
Silencer?
a silencer, yeah.
Can I like try and grasp how it works so that I could make one on my own? Because I do have 2 pieces.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion.
Oh man. Can Temsin help me with this?
Nope, you're
Okay.
persuading her.
2. 4
No,
minus 2.
She holds it for you to let you see it, and then she tucks it away. Well, if you won't be buying, and you won't be selling, and you won't be trading,
Then
is
we'll
there
probably
anything,
be leaving.
If you,
But I'm sure we'll probably be back at some point. We were just on our way back from a friend's and we weren't really prepared, but we heard your shop was here and that it was lovely, and indeed it actually is.
Well, thank you very much.
Off we go.
You have a good day, Garney.
All right,
Okay.
see you.
Head back.
If you're so interested, I could show you. I didn't know you were so interested.
Go ahead and both of you roll perception, because she would have turned away. I'm just... what I've got.
16.
14.
You would notice a circle on the back of her neck.
Does that mean anything to me?
No, but that's what you see.
She's part of the circle cult.
As we're walking back, I'm just gonna be like,
Hey, you seemed really interested in
You okay over
I'm
there?
so stressed out right now. I am so stressed out right now.
I could show you sometime. I mean, you never asked about it.
Perhaps, sure. I don't know. I guess just with everything with Professor Knack and these things have been popping up, so I'm just trying to learn everything I can.
Well, me too. I actually created this. I didn't know they existed until we came here.
What did you base it off of?
I had an idea, and I found some of the powder I use.
Interesting. Well, I'm sure we'll find out more.
Probably not.
Well, either way, it's probably best that we get back to the group and come up with a plan for trying to find Rinna in the morning.
Well, yeah. I mean, all I'm saying is, if you have questions, you can ask. I mean, we're friends, so.
Okay.
They're friends.
What type of powder is it?
I don't know what it's called. Actually, I found it.
You found powder.
Yeah, in a mine.
I mean, that makes sense. And what exactly is the projectile?
I make it.
I feel like we could have learned a lot from Garni.
Well, they don't use it like I do. I asked. Remember when the first time we met Gordon? Yeah, I went back and I talked to him. They don't use it like I do. They don't even
they
use the
it at
projectiles
parties.
sometimes. Yeah. So
Well,
she
they
doesn't.
must do something if they can shoot tree branches.
They don't use it for people like I do.
Huh. Well, that's very peculiar.
Oh, I do my afternoon ritual. I just stop in the middle of the street because it's about that time.
Nice.
Sims is just standing there like, and I'm gonna perception check the crap out of what he's doing. Or should insight or perception?
Do perception.
I just say, give me 1 minute.
And I just kind of go over to an alley.
Okay.
I straight up like follow him, like, where are you going? And perception check.
Okay.
We're just gonna find out that Claudius is Muslim.
Oh, I only got 11.
That's it. He's just that kind of religious. He's not like doing
What?
ritual or
Yeah,
anything.
no,
you
it's
would
not like a
see,
warlock or
part
anything.
of it, but like you don't understand any of what he's doing.
I just know he's doing some type of ritual.
Yeah, you just
Pulls
see
a you see him pull a hair out and then crouch over it.
Yeah, you just see him pull out a hair. That's it.
Interesting.
Okay.
And make my way back
I'm
to
gonna
the
make our
end.
way back.
Okay. So you guys are still, the three of you are still at the inn, right? Okay. And you've got Hist hanging out with you in his new look.
Hello, really quickly, I want to share with you guys that Sierra and I just gave name signs to everybody in the party.
Oh
And they're
my
very good.
goodness.
They're very, very good.
You gotta share with the class now.
Yeah, okay.
We
so-
need a break because I'm not joking. I am physically responding in an incredibly like stressed and anxious way to what's happening in the story right now. I am incredibly stressed.
There's
out
so
right
much
now.
that can happen. We have
Literally,
like so many paths that we can take.
Fuck me running. We were like, we're gonna go get new clothes this episode, and Sarah was like, "Are you?" Interesting.
Those shoes look familiar, Sarah.
Hey, Tiffany. Oh my god. Alright, please share with the class now.
Okay, well, he's not.
Oh, okay.
But,
We'll wait for.
yeah, we can wait for him to come back.
Wow.
Guys, that was the first piece of
Also-
backstory I've ever said.
Yep.
I've been holding that in for 2 months. It felt good.
That's very
Two
good.
bros going on adventures.
They're friends now.
Notice you left out the second half of that.
Yeah, I did.
That has never been confirmed nor denied
Not
nor
that.
asked.
Totally. No, Sierra's like, the reason we started signing to begin with, she tried to text it to me, but my phone is broken. She's like, what if you fucked Skamos?
I was like, what? Because I said, benevolent being held against her will, and she was like, no. The Raven was like, no, and I was like, ooh, does that mean like you slept with the bad guy, or that she's in league with the bad guy because she's technically not being held captive, so maybe she's the bad guy, and she's like, no, you fucking stop that, and I was like, I'm just saying. Or I was like, and then I was like, oh god, what if it was worse? What if she was like disguised self, and she was actually Skamos, and that was actually him?
It would be on
instead of
brand.
benevolence. Yeah, and then we were like going back and forth. She's like, no, I'd be fucking pissed. I was like, but it'd be a great story. She's like, yeah, but I'd be fucking pissed. And I was like, but it'd be a great story. She goes, I know. And so then we're like, you think Sarah's capable of it? Duh, of course she is. But would she really? Yes, she would. We don't really know. Do you think that? I don't know. And so we were going back and forth, and then we finally started giving them names.
What happens, kids? You have sex and then you die.
You get pregnant and die.
Abstinence is the only way.
This is the only way.
Does someone have a hair tie that I could commandeer?
Yes.
I'm so fucking
Oh,
stressed.
yeah.
The dance kid is always like,
Is it
Usually
good
we're
stress
stressed.
though? That's what matters. If it's good stress.
It's good stressed,
Okay,
but
good.
also it's still stressed.
You know,
I
like
feel like
when
I've had you
you
guys too relaxed
when you
this whole time.
slammed that book on me when we were freaking fighting.
That was
what's
good. The
his face.
suspense in that one was good as fuck.
Yo, she scared me so bad. I was like, ah.
No, it's good. It's just like, if any one of these separate things had happened during a regular session, it would be like, ah! But now it's like, you have to break into jail. Also, you guys could get like bounty hunted if you don't go find this gun for them. Also, there's a gal that has the mark. So like, what are you gonna do about that? Fuck.
wait,
Oh,
what's
and
the
you're not
circle?
there.
name?
I'm very stressed.
See, we
I
weren't
am
listening
not
to
there.
any of that because we were too busy worrying about if she
Yeah.
fucks Stamos.
Yeah.
So,
We are-
No, the gunmaker has the
Circles
mark. And
The
I
what?
don't know. The gunmaker has the.
Early, though she ran.
Oh, wait,
she's just,
that's
like,
what that one
openly
is?
wearing
I
it.
thought they were just
Oh, never mind.
well-rounded
Not
people.
Mogul.
Mm-mm.
Not Mogul.
So.
Wait, so
Circle
is the
joke,
Southern
anyone?
accent Brazilian?
Wait. It's the mark for what?
Say it earlier.
So if
They
somebody.
fucking
The
lied.
traitors.
It's
Yeah.
the traitors.
So
Okay.
murderers,
Excuse me.
rapists, terrorists,
Right.
like the worst of the worst get branded with this, and then they're the ones that get cast out into the desert and
Right.
hunted.
I didn't notice that though, so I don't know about that.
She would be risky enough to wear her hair up so you could see it.
She lives in Guran.
She doesn't care there.
Oh, it only matters. Okay, I see.
Like,
No, someone can hunt them down if
if
they
a
see
if a Berlidian were to see the mark, they could then just kill her. And in Berlid, that would be considered the end of a long hunt. But it doesn't, that never happens because they would either, make their home in the desert and then once a year they know that, might get hunted kind of thing. But she's in a place where, Guran and Berlid don't have good political, that's
them. So
not
she's
the
willing
thing.
to risk it, basically.
Yeah, she's like, no one here knows,
But remember, literally could kill her on sight if she saw it, and she would
Would
be
that be
justified.
legal in every country then?
Mm-mm.
Probably
that's a
not.
Berlidian thing.
So it's like crossing a country border and using your own country's
Mhm.
laws there. But regardless, we shall now show you the name signs, even
Yes,
though
please.
technically we're not definitely can't do this, but they're fictional characters, so who cares? There's Skamos, this tiefling, and then we just call Sarah by her name sign, and then remember is R, but remember because it's remember. But
That's the sign, so it's like this.
Yeah, and then
Temsin. So this is the sign for steel. This is the sign for Temsin.
so it's a T.
Steel like the building material or
No,
nabbing
it's
items?
stealing.
Okay.
Yep, to steel. So this is Temsin.
Yeah, and then Ingrad is A, and her eye, so it's up here is A and I.
Ingrad.
And then Claudius is like wings, but with C's.
Hans.
Claudius. And then Sophine is S, but T, so like T, but S. I think that's it. Oh,
Yes.
Rena.
Yep, Rena. So it's an R.
I love it!
So we're talking that shit, yo.
Do you know why my name sign is this?
Uh-uh.
Because this is bear, and Sarah rhymes with Bera, so it's Bera.
That's very good.
Yeah. That was the name sign that
Feel hugs.
that my friends out in Arizona gave me.
That's really cute.
So I was Bera.
That's Mackenzie.
Because this is the sign for excited.
Aww.
That's really cute. Yes.
What was the name of that first city we started at?
Hollow
Oh, I
Bell.
just realized
Hollow
that was
Bell,
up there.
thank
Yeah.
you. Hollow Bell?
Hollow Bell, yeah.
Okay, I forgot.
Oh,
Oh,
Willow
we never
Dale.
did compare notes.
Yep.
I know when you do.
Up near
Sorry,
those
I'm trying
ruins.
to make a list of all the maps I have because
Of what?
Up near those ruins.
Maps.
I am a huge
I like
fan.
parallel.
Oh.
Guys, what if we have to like stop in Willowdale?
Yeah.
Willow.
Wouldn't that be a
That's
thing?
where, what's his
That's
name?
where Desire was from.
You mean where he used to be from?
Where he went back.
You, I know what I said.
Wow.
Went back.
And in game, that was less than 2 months ago.
Damn.
Oh man.
So we could interject into something.
We surely could.
We just
Ooh.
see Jared being like, hey,
Really?
I'm Claudius. I'm
It's only 2
Desire."
months in game.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet, sweet snake lady.
She's having a really good time on the farm.
Yeah, she definitely fared way
I'm
better
just
than...
looking at her
Are we back at
home
the
and
end?
being like, ah, yes, ferryman.
yeah.
Ferryman,
I'm
yes.
just wondering what the... So what were the 3 of y'all... Hold on.
Right
The
there.
Goyles.
There we go. Perfect.
It's
So
such
many.
a good thing. I
Yeah.
can't believe that's like a...
So what would the 3 of y'all be up to?
Well, I can.
While the boys rush off for their lunch date.
If gathering information is what we're after, I can make myself look like a city guard and gather
Just a
information.
city
I imagine it would probably benefit us to have some base information to start with. Like, I need to know the name of the prison. I need to know how the guard works. But like, I don't know how to.
Is the city even that big enough to have multiple prisons?
Well, no, but it would still look weird if I was a guard and I was like, I'm going to the prison, and it's not called the prison. If it's like the pen or like the hellhole or something
what
like that.
novels have you been reading?
The break
Guardian.
bars.
The slammer.
Have you never read a good Guardian novel?
Yeah.
This is why the unicorn liked you.
I don't appreciate the
We were in the
consistent
color
throwback to
district.
the unicorn.
It was so good.
Yeah.
Can I say that I would have conveyed we were in the color district
Yeah.
so that we
Well,
would
you were in
probably-
the... Well, you were in the color district when you were shopping.
We're in the
Then you
top
went
tier.
to the upper
Right.
tier to
I-
go find the gun.
Right, I'm saying when we saw the execution, I was in the color district. So can I convey that? So our first search place would be the color district.
Cool.
Alright, so you guys would know that the color district would be the place to start looking for a prison.
Okay.
Alright, now I have a question for you.
Okay.
We are strangers. We are known strangers in this place. Why can't we go downstairs to the person that keeps the inn
And
and
ask
say,
them?
hey, we saw something really weird in town today. Can you explain this?
Right.
Where do they keep these
We play
prisoners?
the
That would be the
tourist
most...
card.
Remember, it's wisdom.
For real though? Hey, for real though?
She's tactical.
I do like that.
Tactical.
I think the guard idea would be useful perhaps later tonight when we are doing the exchanging of the guard, trying to get winner out if we go. I think that would be useful then, but yes, I like that. I hadn't thought of that.
Sophine, I guess, is gonna go downstairs. I forgot what her name is. I know it. I didn't write it down.
That's okay. I forgot it too, and my notes are
Tabitha.
somewhere.
It is Tabitha.
It's
Thanks for these
something
notes.
weird though. It's something. It's like Tabitha.
Bertha.
It's like something. It's like Tabitha, but it's something weird at the end where it's like not quite Tabitha. We're gonna call her Tabitha for now
Okay.
until we find out.
Tabitha is the singer.
Oh,
Tabitha was a singer at the Opal Fields along
Yeah.
with Bernard and like 2 other people.
There's a weird name. It's like almost a normal name, but then it's not.
Yeah.
I probably have it.
I haven't quite listened there.
Oh, I could whistle. No. On the map of Watervale,
Mm-hmm.
where color district's in the middle tier,
Yeah.
and is it on the east or west side? Because like you have a market noted in the east side.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't know
Yeah.
if there was a. Okay, cool.
Alright.
So it's close to the factory.
Yeah. Go down.
Okay.
Oh, it's gonna really bother me because I don't know what her name is.
That's okay. We're going to say her name is...
Tabitha.
No.
Turd.
Traffic stuff.
What's the girl from Shira? The
Oh my
purple-haired
God.
girl.
Katrin? Oh, not
No.
Katrin. Oh, you're talking.
Taysom.
No.
No.
No,
The technology
no.
down.
Oh, Electra?
Keep your
No, it's not Electra. We say it's Electra
Close,
every
bless
single
you.
time, and that's not what it is.
Whatever the heck her name
Sake,
is.
what is her name?
Bless.
Thank you.
Shira.
Yeah.
Entrapta.
Entrapta.
We're going to say her name is... Why am I having such a hard time with names tonight?
Well, it's not like you don't have like 800 of
Yeah,
them.
I know.
The fan.
Chun-Li.
Chun-Li.
Julie.
That's
I have a name
Exactly.
of NPCs that I want to make memorable.
Trishella.
Trishella.
Chetness.
Yeah,
Thank
Chetness.
you.
Crashed
Aberdeen.
it.
Okay. Trishella.
Yes.
Good evening.
I sent you a letter. Did you hear anything back yet?
Oh no, I haven't. Do I have like a P.O. box that I gotta do I have a key?
No. Just whoever is here when a messenger arrives would bring it to your room.
Would they slip it under the door in case we weren't here? Okay, perfect.
Yes.
I need to check my boy's hole. Anyways.
Oh.
I was gonna say hoard, but then I realized how weird that sounded.
The hole is not better.
See, I thought you said my boy's which is equally as bad.
I'm sorry, Miss. What did you just say?
Oh my god.
My boy's hoard of things.
Oh.
I realized mid-sentence how awkward that sounded, but then I stopped.
That's so much worse.
Regardless, I don't need this from anybody. And she swats at remember and anger.
Fucking easy plan. I can't be such a plan.
She brought up, you know what? Anyways, the point is, I was checking on my letter, and also I saw a weird thing, and as I am a foreigner, it made no sense to me, so I thought I would ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alright. Okay. Choice.
Okay, so anyways, they were shouting in the streets. It looked like they were doing a public hanging or something.
Oh, did they have one of those today?
Then someone was yelling something about a magic user,
Ugh.
and then everyone started to scream and holler, and then there were soldiers everywhere. Don't you have a prison or something that you do this? Like, why is it public?
Well, to dissuade those who would act against the crown.
So you don't have a prison.
We do. It's down in the lower tier. Don't worry. You don't have to worry about that up here. They just bring the prisoners up to get the biggest audience.
Nice.
Is it just for petty crime? We came in on the end, so I wasn't sure. Is it petty crimes or is it?
Usually those who are imprisoned are just sort of...
War?
Yes, unfortunately. People who are imprisoned are... Most of the time there's a bribe that gets them a cell, or they are there to be forgotten.
Oh, oof. That's sad boy ours.
Yes.
Says that in character.
Well.
So, just avoid the lower tier as much as you can. I understand that there are quite a few excellent craftsmen there, but the prison is well guarded. You shouldn't have to worry.
In Tardodas, we have many prisons. Do you only have one in the lower tier for poor people, or do you have higher ones for expensive people?
Well, there is one other, but it's quite a ways south of here. You won't have to worry about it at all. It's called Deepwater. Trust me, you don't want anything to do with that. They've put it well away from the city. But any of the prisoners that you saw today probably came from the I hate to call them dungeons, but they are somewhat underground, so with the dungeons in the lower tier.
Interesting.
But again, you have nothing to worry about. We're quite safe here.
Well, that's good. It is disturbing, as a tourist to see that happening so easily in the streets.
Well, I suspect that they had it contained in a short time.
Sure.
It's... People act out. It's expected, but unpleasant. Again, I am sorry that I don't have anything message-wise for you, but
That's alright.
if we do have something, it will be placed under your door if you don't answer.
I appreciate that. And then she bullets it up right to her room and starts digging around in his things to make sure that there's no letter.
Mama, no!
You get
Mama,
you
that's
get a
mine!
letter.
Mama!
I'm not taking anything
And
that's
he's like,
not yours.
he's
Oh, wait.
laying on top of it.
Can you just
No!
stop being a brat?
No!
And then she's gonna look for the letter. Is there a letter in there?
He like crams a bunch of stuff in his mouth.
Ew, listen, buddy, we gotta find the letter. Did you get a letter? Did something come underneath the door? Paper? I need it. Ew.
And it is like a crumpled up letter
Oh,
with
no.
like, but it has a shiny like seal on it.
Listen, I told you you can't take. We needed. When did this come? Did this come today?
I don't know. And he just hands you a very
Chaos
soggy letter.
I take it from him. You listen to me, boy. You will get in trouble. Do you hear me? Right. I'm serious this time.
And then he like goes back to a dragon and like puffs up wings, puffs up scales.
Yeah, alright. And then she just like opens. This is disgusting.
And he goes back to like pushing. Now he's just nosing the things
You
back
could
under
at
the
least
bed.
Tell me next time.
Tell what, Mama?
Yeah.
And as he like pushes stuff back under.
Alright, she opens the letter.
And it just says, next audience, please attend.
When is the next one?
Yeah, when did it say? Did it say when?
Mm-mm.
Tonight!
It was yesterday.
Yeah, right. It was yesterday. So it doesn't say anything on
It just says, it's not even like signed or anything, it just says next audience.
Well, what the hell does that mean?
Hightail it back down to the
It definitely, like the wax seal that was on there is definitely royal.
Can I like insight check this?
Yeah, definitely.
Can I aid having experience with like
Yeah.
calligraphy and shit.
Forgery? No.
Ooh, 16.
a 16 plus some?
This looks like it was written very quickly. And it looks like it wasn't written like an elegant, like, oh, we request your audience. It was like, yeah, fucking show up.
I do.
Maybe we can just walk up in there with the note and be like, oh.
Are we back
That
yet?
would be useful.
Yeah, you'll be back as soon as I finish this with them.
Also, Kamo, what time of day is it?
It's closer towards like, it's like early afternoon.
So I'm
This is
gonna
already done
show
this.
the letter to the gals that are in
Okay.
in the room. Our sweet boy has been hoarding our letter that I was waiting for
Oh.
that could get us killed if we didn't receive it on time.
Sophie means a child that doesn't understand passive aggression.
He's a dragon. He's like 100 years old.
He's a child.
Regardless, you're talking to an elf. Anyways,
His
technically a half elf, so she's like close to 100 herself, but it doesn't matter.
And he just is under the bed with his hoard.
remembers gonna gingerly get down on the floor and like stick her head underneath.
And you just see like his golden eyes like
Aw.
glinting.
Hey, you okay?
Yeah.
We're not trying to keep you hidden. We're trying to keep you safe.
It's boring.
I know.
I'm dragging a bite. I'll burn it.
I know.
And he just starts hopping around. I'll burn it. I
Okay.
go, and then
we
you
should
just
get
see
him, like-
fire as he goes. I go.
Okay, hold on.
We should
I
get
go.
like a scratching post or
Little
something.
prestidigitation flame.
And he, yeah. See, Mom, I burn.
I know.
You're being a bad
I know.
example.
But you see the floor? You hear what sound it makes?
And he just stomp on the floor.
What's it made out of?
Wood.
What happens to wood if you burn it?
You burn it.
Yeah. We gotta come back here, you know.
Okay.
Alright.
I burn when we leave.
We'll go out in the woods. And you remember how I like to chop trees down? We will play that game.
Okay.
But before we do that, you have to be really good at hiding, okay?
I'm so good at
Yeah,
hiding, and I
yes.
hate it hiding. And he like comes out from under the bed and flies up to the windowsill, and you just see him like lay
Aw.
on the windowsill.
We're going
He's
to
wanting
leave
like
very
a
soon.
scratching post or
I
something.
have an idea. And it is not something that we could do tonight because we're doing something kind of dangerous tonight. But
Ooh.
no. Tomorrow I happen to have this bustle on the back of my skirt.
Stop.
And it happens to not serve any purpose. And I was thinking maybe you could ride around with us.
It's
On
a
her
bus,
butt.
a bus on a butt.
And I show him the back of my skirt and how it has like a fold in the fabric where it kind of lifts up. And I imagine there's like some mesh layers and like wired up here.
Yeah, it's like a wire cage underneath.
And I'm like, so you can see through the fabric more than you could see through the hood. So you could come out and see it with us, and nobody would see you.
And he like sits up a bit and he like head this way, head that way. Okay.
Yes.
So boring. And then he like lays his head back down and just stares out the window.
Sophia's gonna like draw a Sudoku puzzle out for him.
And he just like just goes through it with his claw.
Oh. Anyways,
Oh boy.
this is my letter I got.
Well, I mean, this solves a problem for us. We've been trying to figure out how to see the king, and
Right, but there's
There
no
it
date
is.
on it.
well, I mean, the seal is royal, and most of the time royalty keeps the seal under lock and key. So hopefully, it means that it was either the king or someone that can get us to the king.
So maybe we have time to like yank on over to the king, see if they'll let us in. They probably won't. At that point, we can yeehaw junction down to the prison.
Well, the next audience, I feel like this is a public affair. Let me hold on. And I go downstairs to Trishella. Different person, so hopefully it won't be too weird. Trishella!
Oh,
Darling, I happen to have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend who is coming into town and she desperately needs to see the king. She has some kind of problem with cattle. I don't understand. But she wants to see the king and she was asking me if there is a public audience, an established meeting time, anything like that.
Yes, the next one is in just a few days, actually.
Oh, perfect. What time, please? Do you have?
He holds court once a week. It usually begins early in the morning and goes until sunset.
Perfect. Pause
She's like
for
it's
no.
gonna be like the DMV.
Yeah,
Right.
You're just like,
Does she
DMV.
have a writ to
get out. Get out.
that she has an
The
audience with the king?
DMV.
I believe so. I really don't know that much. She's not the kind of friend that gives a lot of information. Kind of flighty, you know.
Ah, I see. Alright, well, as long as she has a writ saying that she has an audience with the king, she's welcome to court.
Okay. Then I think it should be fine. I just did not know if there was a meeting or anything. I don't have a king where I come from. It's very weird.
Are you from a Tayseth?
Yes, he's a king, but not really. It's fine.
Yes, I've heard some about it. It seems very strange.
Yes, a little odd. But you know, everywhere is a little odd when you get used to it.
I suppose if you're used to one way of thinking.
Thank you for your information, Trisha.
Yes, of course. And will you all be staying another night then?
Yeah.
All right, I'll make sure that we take care of your horses. And where is Fitsum staying? Is Fitsum staying in the room, or is he like in the stable with the horses?
He's probably chilling in the bed. Probably in the stables, actually. It's probably better.
Alright.
When I'm there, he's with me, but
Okay.
otherwise he's at the stables.
Okay.
Better place for an animal.
Mm-hmm.
It is intensely important that we don't get arrested tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to mention that I don't know if you guys do this, but all of your characters, you can describe them however you want. It's that character with your face. I can't remove that. I'm sorry. Like all of you, you've got a third eye. You're extremely large. Like, you got wings, okay?
That's it. We
But
had to
it's
take
your
a
face.
we had to take a portrait shot of everybody, and I'll just Photoshop them into
I
our
literally
characters.
Yes,
did
oh God.
please, like walking around.
Like we're
Guys,
Farquaad and Shrek.
I finally decided Temsin has hair.
Oh.
Ooh.
So
What does his hair look like?
So his hair is like a cross between like
blonde.
a samurai top knot and like a regular like
Man bun?
real man bun, not like little
Okay.
acorn, like a real like because
okay.
he's a halfling and he shaves. He shaves his face, but it was just too hard for him to maintain having a bald head, so he wears it up in a knot.
Ooh. I love this. I love this.
Yeah, I
Like,
finally
well, that's just
decided
you with a
over,
wig.
over a year in, and I finally decided he has
Nice.
hair.
It's okay, I still couldn't tell you what color I'm going to. Sort of, I could, but like,
Okay.
I don't see it in my brain.
Alright. So then,
Statement still stands. Go try to see the king, then bust that bit out of there.
Well, we can't go see him. He said next meeting. It's in 2 days.
Yeah, but you just said that Trishella said that we could go ASAP. Because we have a thing.
No.
No, she said that if
you have a thing, you can go in
if you have a
couple days.
writ saying that you do have an audience with the king, then you're free to attend
Well,
court.
isn't that basically what it says? It's like, yeehaw, come on over whenever you can.
It says next audience, please attend.
What if the next audience is now? And I'm the one making it.
You can.
Bangs on
Alright.
large door.
Are they
But
also
you,
in the
but
tavern?
you two do return to the inn.
Rush up to my room past everyone to change.
Okay.
Very uncomfortable in those clothes.
What do you mean you don't want a red suit? Come on now.
Yeah, Tamsin, especially now that they're in the middle tier and everything, Tamsin's gonna go change as well. But he's gonna keep the jacket with him.
Okay.
And he's gonna take some red thread and a needle with him.
Okay. Sounds good.
And
So-
meet up with everybody to chat.
Okay. Do you meet up in one of the rooms, or are you downstairs?
One of the
In
rooms.
the rooms.
Okay.
Definitely.
Mama didn't raise no fool.
Okay.
I should hold on.
Also, I don't know if you remember, Mackenzie, you summoned a familiar.
Remember.
So,
I did.
so you now have a familiar of a raven.
I didn't remember that earlier.
What does that mean?
It means I could have looked in Benevolence's room without us having to even be near it. Fuck me. Okay, I'm gonna summon my raven friend, who's
Correct.
I'll
And-
figure out a
Collective
witty
IQ
name
goes down
later.
30.
It'll
Yeah.
be fine.
And you control the familiar.
Yes.
This is one of those
So I'm
things
summoning my
that
raven friend.
is
I'm
way
telling-
less
I'm
than
gonna-
the whole.
That's a raven.
Do we have a new hour we need to be for the next like
That's what this episode's called.
45 minutes to an hour?
And Hiss is looking at the raven like,
I think we need to.
It
discuss
came from
what we're
nowhere.
doing.
Yes, I have to do a thing really quickly though. Can
That's
I take?
not quick.
It's not quick, but I have to do it. I'm going to go kind of blank for a little bit.
AFK.
If you super need me, just like shake me. I'll be able to feel you, but I can't see or hear you because I'm looking at something else. Okay?
That's fine. I suppose we can discuss
Just
this.
somebody
and then fill
take
you in.
notes, and
Oh,
I will.
remember.
I'll get it right. It'll be fine. And I'm gonna.
Don't do cross.
I'm gonna kind of blank out, and I'm gonna summon my familiar again. I'll find a witty name later, and I'm gonna give it the instructions because I know once it goes beyond a certain range, I can't give it any instructions. I'm gonna give it the instructions. Go to Benevolence's house in the upper tier. Look through the windows until you find her. Look through every window to see if you can find her,
okay.
and send the bird.
Okay. So your raven flies across the city, and you see through its eyes the whole time, right?
Yes.
So
I just
how
after
is
it gets
that?
past a certain point, I can't control it anymore.
But how is that for Angerod, who has never flown, who you probably sit on a cliff and look down, but you've never had a bird's eye view of a city.
Bird.
How is that for Angerod?
Pretty cool. Pretty freaky. Not gonna lie. However, she is used to things being buck fucking wild at all times.
One thing of note is that the raven does not have a third eye. So when you go look through the raven's eyes, that changes your whole depth perception again.
You guys in the room just kind of.
And so this raven goes and flies towards Benevolence's house, and you see the yard come into view, you see the gardens come into view, you see the gardener coming into view, and sure enough, it flies from window to window. You see servants going this way and that. You see a couple of the cooks in the kitchen. You see people going out to a big vegetable garden in the back and plucking things and getting things for supper. And then it alights on a balcony, and you can see into Benevolence's room. And she is just sitting at a vanity, and she's not in any of her elegant clothes. Her hair is just down, and she's just in this robe, and she's just sitting there writing.
I can't really give it instructions. Is it within the range? I'd have to look it up, but is it within the range that I could still give it instructions, do you think?
What is the range?
I have to look it up. As an action, you can It's 100 feet, so
You could bring it back
No.
and then send it back.
from the raven's eyes, I know it's
12-year-old Jerry.
probably not great eyesight, but can I see what she's writing
Mm-mm.
from where it's landed on the balcony?
No.
Fuck. Okay.
Does she look healthy or not?
Yeah. Other than looking kind of disheveled, does she look okay?
Yeah, she looks how you like saw her before. Like she doesn't look sick. That's one thing, I guess.
Okay.
Is anyone else in there? I'm sorry, I'm not playing.
Can I just roll a perception check for
Yeah,
Raven,
absolutely.
just to see if there's anything in the room worth noting?
Mhm.
I have his stats written down somewhere. That's fucking natural 18 though. So.
Hey,
Sorry, yo, my filter's gone.
Who needs a filter when you cannot have a filter? Am I right?
When we're playing D&D.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was an 18. Perception is wisdom, so it's a 19 total.
19 total. She's definitely not ill, but there's no one else in the room with her. You do see a pair of leather shoes on the floor that are not hers.
should she? So, creep.
Okay. Well, fuck.
That sucks.
I think I'm gonna get a letter soon, guys. Okay.
Of the Dear John variety.
Yes.
Aww.
What does that mean?
It means Skamos told her not to talk to me.
Oof.
And she's gonna break up with me because of that fuckhole. Okay. So.
Sweet,
That
sweet
description,
Vanessa.
though.
Yeah, I'll break connection. It knows to come back to me. Actually, it could probably dissolve at that point. I don't know.
Did you want to have a conversation while she's playing?
Yeah, but Claudius just comes up to you and
Remember,
Get another poem, guys.
we haven't had a chance to talk the past day or two, but I was just really thankful that you helped me out there in those sewers. And like I said, I'm not good at talking words. I'm a little better at writing them. And I think you said you really enjoyed the last thing I gave you, so I just got you something else. I thought, as friends, help you get to know me a little more.
I really appreciate this, Claudius.
Yeah, of course.
This is... I'm gonna read it later, I think.
Okay, just let me know what you think.
Okay.
And if you have any questions or
And by later, she
want to
means
talk,
multiple years later when she knows how to read.
just talking isn't always.
Yeah, no, it can be difficult, yeah. Lots of things can be difficult.
like reading. So yeah,
Does
he looks
he
so
say that
happy.
in
By the way,
character?
like he's never had a friend before, so this is like he looks so happy.
Thank you for
What
sharing.
will Tamsin say?
He's making friends left and right.
Also, remember while she's doing her familiar thing and like after they've had this little conversation, is gonna like sit next to the bed cross-legged and just kind of like and wait.
And he like looks over from the windowsill,
She's just gonna like hold her arms out.
and he flies across the room and comes and lands.
Oh, he can fly now? My boy.
Good couple sweet boy.
Yeah, he's just like curled up in the lap now.
Aw.
She opens it. Let's read this tonight.
That's actually a really good idea. Very covertly.
And he like puts his head on the letter. And then he looks up. What, Mom?
It's fine. It's fine.
And he like starts pawing at it.
No, it's
Mom,
fine.
why?
For real. For real. She's just gonna like tuck it in her.
And then he like goes up onto the shoulder and
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
he like bites the earlobe.
We're having a nice moment. I just want to.
Did you tuck it into like the front of your?
Yeah.
He like goes and peeks his head down.
Stop.
Can I make a perception check
You
on
can
this?
feel him pulling on it. Yeah, absolutely. This is like this is not
That
the
is a
most.
12.
No, you'd probably see her being like, stop. Like, you don't know what he's doing, but he's got his head, like, down in her, like, wrappings.
What is going on?
I don't know what. Alright. And she's just gonna, like, pick him up and then hold him out at arm's length. We're having a nice moment.
And his, like, his legs and claws, like, scrabble for a minute.
No,
and he
we're just going to sit together and it's going to be nice.
And he has a corner of the poem in his mouth.
Say okay. She's gonna tuck him into that part that she usually puts him in when they're like walking around.
And he just, like, settles down. And you can hear it.
Alright. She's just gonna like take it out and like fuck. Like braid it into her hair.
He settles down.
Sabrina's literally sitting there like this.
Don't worry about it. Being a mother.
I don't know much about that, but
It's fine.
pretty sure it's not like that.
Fine.
Alright.
It's fine. It's fine.
He yells, "It's fine!"
I know you're a little liar.
And he peeks his head out. Yes! And then he tucks his head back in.
Someday I'm gonna have the time to teach you like morality, but we'll worry about that when we're out of here.
Morality means not lying.
Oh well,
Kind of.
Yeah.
Sometimes. On occasion.
So,
Perhaps we should discuss everything we have going on.
Yeah, is Angerod back?
It's up to you whenever you think it would. It would be a little bit longer before she kind of like comes back to herself. But then, yeah.
Sorry, I'm texting my mother.
Oh no, you're fine.
how could you?
Not allowed. We're your family now.
You're right, but you know.
Well, are we gonna wait till Angerod was done to discuss
I
stuff,
feel
or
like
are
we
we gonna
can-
discuss stuff without
Well,
her?
technically we can
Did
technically.
you read all of it? It's really shitty handwriting, so.
Technically,
Technically. We
Kind
can
of.
talk about it now and just update Angerod and
Yeah.
have her weigh in. So,
did you all find out information about the prison?
yeah, they've got 2 of them.
2.
Yeah, one is in the lower tiers for the poor people, and one's on the outskirts of the country where they keep bad-er people. Or weird, sketchier people. They probably keep magic users there, if we're being honest. But Rena's not a magic user, so we can probably go to the poor area. She's poor.
Well, I would assume that if we had to be there by
I'm gonna let you guys
Dawn.
discuss real quick. I'm gonna use the restroom.
that, it would be here in the city.
Yeah, probably.
The last time we saw her is in the city, so you could assume that that's where she is.
You're
What?
such a good writer.
Is that
Jared.
like,
No.
is the goal to
It's not me,
like
it's Claudia.
stealth in there and get information, or is it to like break her out if we see her? We can't really afford to get caught at this moment if we want to make good on our promise to Oak.
How likely do you think it is that they will kill her if they've gone through the trouble of faking her death?
Probably not much. If she's technically dead already, right?
I mean, I almost wonder if it would be worth it for me to go back to the market in the Color District. Just kind of wander around to see if perhaps whoever slipped me the scroll is there watching.
As long as you can get back by, I mean, as long as we can be at the guard change at the prison, I don't see why not.
Did we get any schematic information? You guys haven't gone down to the prison, correct? That might be a good idea to get a layout and an idea of guards and all of that.
The biggest
What's
question
the-
is how do we do that without getting caught?
What is our intent? Are we trying to go and break her out? Because that's going to be fucking...
I don't know. All I know is we're supposed to be there during the guard change at first light.
What is fate telling you?
I'm not quite sure. I haven't had a moment to go and meditate, honestly.
Might be good.
Yes, I'll have to wait for fate to get back to do that.
So to the side, metagaming. We can't rescue Rena if Carly's not here.
Yeah, correct. Like, I don't know what we're gonna do. It's probably not gonna be her. There's probably gonna be something else
There's
in the
some
cell.
type of intel though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's leading us there. I gotta wait till Sarah gets back to ask her.
But like,
how
what would
I'm
our
feeling.
characters do? Our characters have no fucking clue
Yeah.
about that, so they're gonna be like,
Right, that's why
"That's
I'm
our
like,
friend."
if
Yeah.
Rena's-
That was metagaming 100%.
right.
Like,
If that was my thought too. Is like Rena's probably not really gonna be there, but we're gonna get information that's gonna lead us on the witch hunt.
What
for
if
her.
what if like we get there and like Sarah opens a door and like Carly comes out?
She's been hiding this entire
The
time.
Dollywood trip was a lie just for this reveal.
yes.
Literally, Sarah's like,
Has Tenzin had any feelings in regards to going to the prison or the cell or anything like that?
He hasn't felt anything anyway.
Okay. And yeah, I will
Wait, come get your plot line.
perhaps after we finish discussing, I will meditate to see if I hear anything or feel anything.
Am I back yet?
Hmm?
Am I back yet?
Yeah.
At this point, I think we just need to get some information as far as where this prison is at, what we're looking at as far as infiltration.
Clean my gun.
Oh,
A little bit of this. A lot of this.
Don't you dare forget this.
Oh god.
Your flying is fucking weird. It's really odd. Have you ever flown before?
I have no.
It's just like
Yeah.
It's so weird.
You're just like up. You can go down. Like when you're walking, you can't go down. Or
I
up.
know, and
It's
then you
fun.
hit like a little air thing, you go, ooh.
Or sometimes if you get a good one, you could just stop and then let it take you. Sometimes you can spin. It's pretty fun.
I'm so excited. I'm very sad though.
You could come fly with me
What
sometimes
did you
since
see?
you have a bird.
Yes, that would be very fun. I'm sorry, I just remembered what I saw, and now I'm sad. Benevolence was writing a letter. She was fine, which means she didn't want to see me, which means that Skamos probably told her not to talk to me, which means she's probably going to dump me. And I'm sad.
Oh, were you dating?
Yeah, we thought you were the hussy.
Yeah, wasn't this just some like
Fly my
side
leg.
business?
Oh,
This
I don't. Okay, things are a little bit different for me. For Adbert, but for me.
You guys do like a lot of shotgun weddings.
Yeah, I'm out of my element. I don't know much about.
They saw each other for more than 2 nights. It was more than nothing.
Correct. See, in Adgard, we kind of flit around. We're not exactly known for our abstinence.
How many nights?
So if I spent more than one night with her, it's because it meant something. Which I don't know if she felt that way, because now she's writing a letter and I'm going to get it and she's going to say she can't see me anymore, and I'm very
Well,
sad.
At least you know that if that's the case, it's probably Skamos is doing, and not because of how she feels about you.
Yes, I know, but there's no way for me to convince her to not do that, because she's taking money from him. And like,
Well-
I know I like her and I liked the time we had together and it was really good. But she's not going to choose me over the money. I
Or
know.
her life.
Correct, yes. I'm not going to ask her to do that either, that's not fair. She's built something for herself and I don't want to ruin that for her.
Right. Well, I think unfortunately we might do that if we take out Mogul. Either way.
Well, yes, but she...
That's a long-term issue.
Yeah. We can worry about
Right.
that later.
Well,
You were saying something about the prison. I'm sorry. I did not mean to interrupt.
yes, we are trying to put together a game plan as far as going to the prison and figuring out what our best plan of action would be.
Well, you and I can be relatively stealthy because I can change how people perceive me, and you can
Change whether they see me or not.
yes. So we could go perhaps earlier than the rest of the group and see what the prison looks like and how the guards act and interact, and perhaps just see what there is to be seen. And then later tonight we can go and perhaps infiltrate if it changes the guard.
Right. I think it'd probably be better if... I know it's probably riskier, but it'd probably be better if we went before it got dark. So that's way we can kind of get a better lay of the land and see things better.
I don't like that.
I haven't used any of my spells, so I don't see why not.
Only use one.
And then once we have some intel, we can better plan what we want to do come first light.
And we have more time now because I already did the thing for benevolence, so we don't have any other commitments tonight.
Same.
Everyone good with that?
Yeah.
I'm not terribly stealthy, but
But
wherever I am needed.
you fight good.
You fight good.
Well, and that was
You fight real good.
That was more so for Angrod and I.
yes. I was thinking maybe just those of us who are capable of being slightly more covert.
Li Shang?
Go.
No? Anybody?
That's not what I was quoting.
And Hiss is like peeking his head out now, and I'll be sneaky.
No.
I'll be sneaky.
You're coming out with us tomorrow.
And he like flops a claw out of the sling.
I mean, at this point, he might be safer with us than staying here. We already know he's leaving the room.
And he like scrambles out of the sling
Perhaps.
and
But who's
flies
gonna
across
watch-
the room.
Who's gonna watch your horde?
Perhaps the rest of
I know. And then he like goes down, and you hear him ripping at something
Whoa.
underneath the bed, and then you hear a thunk, and then you hear just everything falling into something, and then you hear it. Okay, hit it.
Where?
And then he starts stomping on the floor.
I'm gonna go look.
You can see where he is very definitively torn up a floorboard underneath the bed.
We're on the second floor.
Closet.
Yeah, it's under there.
Did that just drop through to the next?
You can peek and
I'm gonna look.
you can see where there is like a small space, but there's definitely like there's not gonna be, if anything happens and shakes, like probably a coin or a button will fall through.
Is there anything specific or like a value for the team that's like shit? We need this, or is it just like gold and stuff?
It looks like he's just taken random bits and pieces of like money and buttons and
Okay.
like he might have even gone into other rooms here and just gotten random stuff.
Okay, so it's not like anything crazy. All
He's
right.
just building up a very. His hoard seems to be round things, which is
Okay.
probably why he liked the seal on the.
Oh,
Okay.
can I steal you for a moment?
And he like glances down in the
no,
whole
it's a
stuff.
euphemism.
It's a manner phrase. Here, I want to show you, and I pull out my pack, and I pull out a very specific little wrapped thing at the bottom of my pack, and I show him. There's 2 different sets of jewelry. One is blue and one is red. And I show him and I say, I know you like things that are shiny.
And his tail just starts swaying.
You can't have these.
Aw.
Okay?
And he's a nice lady.
I know. Here, and you can have a gold piece after we are done here, I promise. But I need you to promise me that you will never take these from me.
Okay.
Okay.
And he just like puts a claw on them and. Yes, nice lady.
Aw.
These were, well, this is what my mothers wore when they were married. And
Oh.
they're very important to me.
And then he like climbs up onto your shoulder and starts like biting a little bit at your earring. You were 'cause married. Okay.
Thank you, Heath.
And then he starts like looking at other people in the party and he's married?
No.
Where is the one?
No, it is, well, it's a tradition in Atcordian nobility. There is a specific garb that they wear for weddings, and it is... I will wear one of these sets when I am married, but it is...
But
later.
wear this. And he tugs again at your earring.
It's different. These are special.
Okay.
Okay. Well, here, since you like this one.
And he goes back and you hear it tinkle down into his now little, like,
Aw.
treasure trove under the floor. And he's like, more?
You greedy little bastard.
I give him a button.
Aw.
And then you hear it as it just falls down. But then you hear from downstairs, you hear, what? Where did that? And he goes, oh. And then you see him, like, he goes into this little hole that he's made and starts removing things one at a time very carefully. Fall down. It's bad if fall down.
Oh shit.
He's problem solving.
I have nets, like she ties knots all the time, so I've got like a really like fine weave net. So
Great, you're enabling our son.
Yes, but we gotta listen. You've got to keep them safe and encourage their interests without crushing their spirit.
That's true, you're not wrong.
You're gonna be a great mom.
He's gonna shove gold into someone's room from the ceiling.
Yeah, that's what the net is for.
It'll love
So
it.
she's
It'll be
gonna-
fine.
Remember's gonna like help him start putting the objects into the net and like create a little basket for him so he can like have them all together.
He's just like,
Look, you put them together and then you can keep them in here.
and then he just
They won't roll.
uses his claws to like push it into the net, and then he sits on top of it and wriggles down into it. Well, that's good.
We need to get him like a bag of holding that's like his size so that it's like a messenger bag and he can shove a bunch of his stuff in there. That way he can carry his little bag around.
Very good.
You fucking had one. You gave it away.
She just opens and dumps
RD&D.
thousands of items out of it.
30% combat sim, 65% dating sim,
Correct.
5% Nintendogs. This just keeps getting a greater and greater role.
Oh my god.
Okay, he's gonna save us one day when the BBEG comes to get us.
Correct.
If you guys are going to scout the prison, I'm actually going to stay behind. There's something I wanted to look into. I'd rather do it on my own, though. So.
Well, that's not shady at all.
No, I did. I just said I'd rather do it on my own. I
His
prefer
sees-
not to talk about it.
Hit sees Safine like this, and so he goes,
I love you.
He's such a good boy.
This is
So,
the
yeah,
important
I just
part
prefer to be by
about being
myself.
safe.
and then he like,
Right. You gotta make sure you view them with all of your might.
and he puts his claws up.
Yes. Just in case they're bullshitting you.
Bullshitting.
Right. Bullshitting. That's my boy.
And then he goes scrambling off to go find something else.
Okay.
Love
To the
so
person.
much.
We're not gonna ask more about this.
Y'all can cry real quick. I got inspiration.
Oh, okay. What do we want to ask more about?
What he's doing?
Yeah.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
He's shady motherfucker. He's not gonna tell us.
I also really appreciate that Temzin is like, somebody's going off by themselves and not telling the rest of the group what they're doing. You should look into that.
You don't say.
This motherfucker right here. This motherfucker right here is like,
I gotta pee. You find out. So you don't want to like give us a context? Are you gonna be home before the street lamps go out?
Hold on, I'm texting Sarah.
young man, you have a curfew.
Young man, you have a curfew.
Young
Do you
man.
need any spend?
There's no need to feel down. I said, young man.
Literally, he's like, oh, you know, me and the other kids are gonna go down to the radioactive bayou and then go splish splash and come back.
Alligator man.
And we're all like, sure, that's fine as long as you're back by the street lights being on.
I'll probably be back before dark. I'm not going very far. Just trying to get some information about something that's important to me that I don't want to talk about.
And
Just
are
gonna
you
go
gonna
steal
be
ya.
back in time to?
Yes,
Okay.
I'll meet you back for dinner at the inn. This isn't weird.
Sophie like waggles her eyebrows past you to remember an Angrod.